everyone, and welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Now, today we're looking at cómo nos manipulan las redes sociales y los medios de comunicación. Okay? So, as usual, I've got a list of words to help you talk about this. I've got your adjectives, your verbs, and your nouns. Now, I haven't put any expressions because I'm going to allow you to really go away on your own and think about it. It's about reflection, and I want your own ideas on this. Okay? So I want you to look around and think, how does media, how does it affect you? How does it change your behavior or the decisions you make or how you see the world or how you see yourself? How does it change us? Okay, how is it manipulating us? You, the people around you, things that you can perceive. This is what I want you to have a little look at. Okay, so we're going to start off with the adjectives which we might use when we're talking about communications, the media and social media. Okay, right. The first word I have for you is abrumador. Now, abrumador is, I think it's very appropriate. It's overwhelming. Because sometimes this is, I think, just the perfect word with all the mass communication, just everything that's thrown at us. Sometimes, personally, I want a break. So this is a nice adjective for you. It's overwhelming. Overwhelming. Okay? How do you feel about it? Okay? Agresivo puede ser. This is a word you already know, aggressive. We don't have to put that one. Number 3, alarmante. It's alarming. It's cause for concern. What we are watching. Okay, alarmante, alarming. Okay, muy bien. I don't want to give too much because I don't want to make it all about my opinions. I want it to be yours. So I'm literally going to go over most of these so you know what they mean. Beneficioso, that's spelled incorrectly, beneficioso. This is not great at all. Let me see if I can clean that off for just a bit. Okay. Okay, a ver. Beneficioso. Okay, so beneficial. Okay, it's beneficial. Okay, it's beneficial. Okay, how is it beneficial to us? Is it? Okay, remember you can make these positive or negative. Okay, another word we watch on the news, and I like this word for that, pesimista. Okay, it's quite pessimistic, isn't it? I want some good positive things. Pessimist. Okay, pessimistic. Okay, it's quite pessimistic. Is that what we want? Is that the way we want to live, in a pessimistic world? I want to see the good things happening as well. Okay? Another one, inútil, which is useless. The news that we get, the things that come to us every day on our social media, how useful is that to us? Okay? What benefits does it bring? Okay? Right. Escalofriante. Okay? Scary. Sometimes it's blood curdling, isn't it? Okay? Ooh. Okay? Makes your hair stand up, quite literally. Okay? How manipulative is it? Okay? Es manipulador. Okay? Son manipuladoras las noticias a veces. Okay? So, that's a good verb for you, adjective for you as well. Poderoso, which I think is one of your key ones, powerful. Why is it so powerful? Okay? Perhaps related to the last one I have, which is omnipresente. Omnipresente means the same as English. Omnipresent means it's everywhere. You can't get away from it because it's always present. It's always present. It's absolutely everywhere you go. So I love this for you. You spell it the same in English without the E, or you just put everywhere. It's the same. It means the same thing. Okay? You can't escape. And if you notice, and I know everyone will notice this, the other day I was looking for heaters, because I get a little bit chilly. I like to have heat everywhere. And I typed in heaters, radiators, and I came out of the page I was in, and for the whole next 4 days, every time I clicked on, it doesn't matter what device I was using, heaters have been sent to me. Are you interested in this? Are you interested in that? So it's that invasion of privacy, isn't it? It's the big brother watching you wherever you go. And perhaps they presented things to me that perhaps I wouldn't have thought of getting. You know, initially I had a radiator in mind, but because I got so many things sent to me, I was like, oh, perhaps I need this. Perhaps that's not the one I wanted. So again, my mind was being changed by all the things that were being presented to me everywhere I went on the net. Okay, so that's just a small example. Right, okay, let's go on to the verbs, because I don't want to make this video excessively long. Right, emitir, which is to broadcast. That's one of your key verbs, to broadcast. Vender, to sell, we've seen that, but obviously you can use vender to talk about selling ideas, okay? Selling yourself, or you selling what you hold dear, or your morals, you know, in that sort of sense. Anunciar, which is to advertise, which is one of the biggest things, isn't it? I think that's probably one of the biggest things about social media. You're always advertising something. They're trying to sell us something and we're supposed to buy it, aren't we? Next one, to follow, seguir, okay? Somos seguidores. We are followers. We follow these people who we respect, we look up to, who are considered idols or even brands. We follow these ideas, and so this is one that should be highlighted as well. What does social media do? Provocar, okay? What does it do? Provokes, okay? To provoke. Sometimes you see how invested people become because they are provoked by these very strong ideas that are being presented to us on social media, in the media, every day. And we do start to think that it's more about us than it is about other people, okay? Right. Next one, to consumir, which is to consume, okay? That's the whole point. We live in a society where we're consuming so much, okay? What are we consuming, okay? Our children, what are they consuming on TV every day, on their laptops, on their mobiles? What information are they being fed, okay? Are our children being manipulated? How, okay? How does it affect the way children grow and the way they develop? Because they're still very impressionable, okay? These are things we ought to be thinking about. How much are we consuming? Okay, programar, which is to program. We've seen this. To program. Okay. Next we have manipular, which is to manipulate, which we obviously, it will come up quite a lot because that's our topic word. Despertar, and I know you must be thinking despertar, to wake up, physically wake up out of your bed. No, but despertar is to awake feelings, emotions. When you stop and you think about it, that's what news and propaganda does. It wakes up these strong emotions in us that make us act and behave in a certain way, or participate in what's going on. Okay, so despertar sentimientos, okay, to wake up feelings, okay, to get you feeling and get you thinking about what it is that they're putting before us, okay. I like this word, dividir, which is to divide. Okay. So we've been divided a lot of times, and we're not even aware of the higher powers that are doing this to us, the puppeteers, if you like. Right. We see this quite often. You know, sometimes you'll get a note, a message or a call from the bank or from your doctor or somewhere where han robado bases de datos. Okay, this happened at my university last year, where there's still databases. Okay, this is something that happens, and obviously if it's been stolen, it's for a reason. It's to find out personal information about either an institution or a person or a group of people, individuals. Okay, right, so stealing databases. To steal, robar, steal databases. Okay, good. The last one I've got for you, which I really couldn't miss off, was intervenir. That's an N, by the way. Intervenir móviles. So this is when you have people bugging or tapping phones, and again, it is to get information, filtrar información. Okay, so when you get personal information from someone, which you see that all the time, and in the political sphere, you'll see this, where when politicians decide to play dirty, and they do get their phones bugged, not just in politics, but in other places as well, and information is leaked. Filtrar información. The verb filtrar is to leak. So when you spread that information that you've gotten, you've obtained from wherever it is, whether it's a phone or a laptop, somebody's private laptop, and then they use that in their dirty fight. And obviously we are as the public, we're watching that, we're participating, and it affects our opinions and the way we think of that person, because now we have extra information and we play into that a lot. Sometimes we forget that it is a political fight, and everyone has their secrets. Everyone has things that perhaps we wouldn't want to come to light. And so these methods as well of manipulating the public to manipulate us. And so I want you to think about those as well. Methods that we see being used in politics, on TV every day, when we find out information about people. We don't know them. A lot of times we've been asked to have certain opinions about certain issues, certain people, and we don't know them. Okay, we've been asked to invest in things and places where perhaps we wouldn't really have put ourselves, it wouldn't have mattered to us, but because we are being given so much, we feel as though it's our place to give an opinion and to get very involved where perhaps we wouldn't have normally. Okay, right, let's go over to los sustantivos, which are your nouns. Okay, bots, it's the same in Spanish. Okay, your bots, obviously we know what these are for. They're there to again present you with ideas, and they will start arguments, okay, against I am the opositor y tú el defensor y vamos a estar ahí peleando. I don't care, okay, but it makes you feel as though you do care, because it's everywhere. Everyone has an opinion, and it's mass communication, isn't it? Bots are everywhere, and sometimes we forget that bots are not real people. They're not real opinions. They have been placed there as strategy. Okay, so bots. I'm not going to put it. It's the same. Propaganda is the same. Propaganda. Okay. Distracción is following noun, which I think is very important. A lot of times we spend so much time just focusing on the screen, focusing on what we hear, focusing on social media, and we spend so much time that we forget that it is a distraction. Okay, there are bigger problems in the world. Sometimes I will read something and I'm like, how is this not front page news? This is devastating. A whole load of people, a whole country going through such atrocities. We don't know about it because they put something very superficial about some celebrity who is really not doing anything. It's just gossip. But because it's everywhere, everyone's invested. Because you put on the TV, it's there. You turn on your mobile, you go through your news feeds, and that's all there is. And it is a distraction from the bigger things that's going on around the world. Things that we should care about. We don't care about it because it's not being presented to us every day as something important. So we have to think about that as well. Where is this gone? Where's our brain? What should we be thinking about? Okay, what should we not be leaving on the back burners? Okay, right. Lenguaje. Okay, I like this word. I should have put it in verbs actually. Persuadir, which is to persuade. Okay, lenguaje is very important. So the language that is used in social media or in the news is very, very important because a lot of time it's to persuade. And if you've been studying in English, you would have seen weak verbs and strong verbs. So those strong words that really convince because they're descriptive and they tell you exactly what the writer wants you to understand and see and feel. And so lenguaje is extremely important. Okay, and you have to remember that just because someone's delivering an argument to you, just because they persuade you or the language is good, it doesn't make it right. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's the truth. Okay, some of us are very good at convincing. We have great conviction and we speak and we hold the audience's attention. It doesn't mean it's right and it doesn't mean that's where your focus ought to be. Okay, so remember how important language is when it comes to persuasion. Next one, escándalo. So scandal, okay? Okay, so lenguaje is language, by the way. Okay, you know that one, which is why I didn't put it down. Language, okay? Newsfeed is the same. You would say it in Spanish, just with an English voice. Newsfeed, okay? Las noticias, okay? Las noticias que te salen cuando abres tu teléfono o una app o lo que fuera, okay? Sensacionalismo. Sensationalism. Okay, sensation. We'll just take the O off. Sensationalism and add the T. Okay. Okay. So sometimes it's not really about the truth, but how much I can sell by making it as scandalous and big as possible, make more out of it. It's all about the fuss and it's drawing more attention to something that perhaps it deserves. Okay? Imágenes, so images. Why is this important? Images. Why are images? Why are photos important in social media? Okay? Now, if I'm trying to convince you that someone is not to be trusted, obviously I'm not going to use a photo of them looking elegant and nice. No, I'm going to find the worst photo I can of that person in the worst moment of that person's life, and that's the photo I'm going to plaster all over the newspaper. That's the photo I'm going to be using to make you think that this is what the person is. I'm going to convince you that way, okay? A photo does a lot. It's very powerful, especially when it goes with the right words. I'm trying to convince you of something. I just have to find the right photo that says, here it is, this is why I'm right. Okay, so think of image. How is images important? Photos. Okay? Bulo is another one, fake news. Bulo, we saw that before. Mensajes políticos, political messages. Okay? Political messages. This is one that you need to remember as well. Okay? How do we get drawn into the topics that are political? Okay? Prensa amarilla. How does that contribute? So, prensa amarilla you would have seen before. Do you remember what it is? Tabloids. Okay? So the tabloids. Again, tabloids. So you have to think that the tabloids are really, they're out to sell as much as they can, okay? And sometimes they use really dirty, horrible tricks, you know, to get that story out there, okay? Think about the reputation, okay? Whenever the media brings something to you, it is to shape you, it's to convince you of something, it's to convince you that you either need something, you're a part of something, that you're being manipulated by someone, not by them obviously, but by someone. And so think, how are you being used? Okay, how are we being used? How are we being manipulated? How are we being made to think the way other people want us to think? That's what I want you to do. Your writing, your presentation is going to be on this. I hope you have enough information to really go away and sink your teeth in and come up with something that's your own, okay? Think about how it's affected you, how you look at your life, how you behave because of social media. A lot of us are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on all the most modern things. How does that then shape the way you think of yourself or how you see the world, okay? Does it affect younger people more than older people? Are you personally affected by it? How does it change your political view? How does it change your view on people we don't know? Okay, you put on your phone now, or you go on any social media, and what you're going to find, I guarantee you, is Harry and Meghan. It is everywhere, and even if you don't want to be a part of it, it's right there in your face, because it's saying, this is the most important thing, everyone's talking about it, it's affected us this way, that way. Does it really? Two people living their lives, why should it matter to us so much? Okay, so again, go away and think about that, and I can't wait to see what great things you come up with, okay? With that, I'm going to leave you until next time. Take care, guys. And if you've not already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to do that down below. Okay? Que pases un día genial.